Hi, so today I'll be cooking or frying some pork chops. This is center cut pork chops. I got some bacon, I have some corn, I have a little half and half because I don't have milk. I have butter, coconut oil, veggie oil, and then I have my potatoes on the side. Let me go ahead and rinse off my onions, and then I'll show you guys the rest of what I'm doing with this meal. Something nice, quick, easy, simple. To rinse my onions. Rinse them very well and strain. I'll just use this strainer. Washing and cutting my potatoes. This potato looks a little on the funny side. I'm going to put that one to the side and see if grandma would cook a potato that looks like that. Just the way it looks funny to me. This one's perfectly all right though. Wash, kind of wash, rinse the outside and just get it prepared and put it in some salty water. Potatoes are kind of dirty, so I just rinse it the best I can under some warm water. And then here's the pork chops that I've not made pork chops ever since I had some pork chops from this food pantry. So potatoes, nice clear. If the water looks a little dirty when I'm cooking the potato, it's because, you know, you wash the potato off, but it's still, potatoes are from the dirt. So that's what it's just gonna look like that. There we go, make sure I'm doing that right. There we go. I wanna make sure any little spot is fine. There we go. So then I'm making a small batch of potatoes. And then I'm going to check on this. So there we go. A nice cube here. Nice cube work here. Not too small. I like to cook a quick, easy potato. You can leave it like that. You can cut it. You want them to be as uniform as possible, because when you're cooking them, all of them are going to be done, and then I'll just use my potato masher and mash them up. So let's go ahead and move this out of the way and start on the pork chops. You can sit your pork chops in water and salt if you want kind of like a brine, but what I'm going to do is just kind of prep them for frying. And my spices I'll be using today are Sazon garlic salt and caramelized onion butter. I'm going to cut up one more potato with my meal, but let's start on adding water and salt so we can boil our potatoes. What would you have with your pork chops? I don't cook pork chops very often, so not quite sure. I just picked something. This is salt. I put the salt in a pepper container. I was just like, why not? So here we go with this. What I'm going to do is I was going to add a chicken cube to it, but no, it's okay. I'll just leave salt, and I'll have it going on a rolling boil, and then I'll add my potatoes. So with that, I can just cook up my onions if I choose to. Kind of let that be. Add my little potatoes as I go. Thing with me is that I need a little bowl to kind of put my potatoes in until they're ready to transfer over. Not an expert when it comes to cooking this pork, but but I'm gonna try my best because I do know how to cook bacon, and I usually put that in the oven if I have extra time. Takes a little while. And then I can just dump this in the water and add salt, pepper, or just pepper and garlic salt. Let's start on these pork chops. So with the corn, I'm just gonna drain and then add like some cooked bacon to it, or like cook the bacon as I'm going. Let me take out 1 packet of the Saison for these pork chops. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to cook up some onions, or rather all of my onion for flavor purposes. I got my Saison. It says that you can add it to poultry, soup, salad, sauce, beans, vegetables. For every 4 people your recipe serves, add 1 packet. For every 8, add 2 packets. This is 4 chops, so I think that that's enough. So what I'm gonna do, take my chops, add a pack. Oh, these are it's kind of beautiful. These aren't the thin breakfast ones. That's why I was wondering. I'm like, what kind am I getting? So I got these from Aldi, and they're $5.30. So let me kind of push this back. All right, so add a little butter to cook my onions. A little dish. The request was to make fried pork chops, and my goal was have them to not be as juicy as possible and not dry. I'm gonna rinse them off, and this is the way that the pork chops look. And I'll show you guys in a short the rest of what I'll be doing. This is turned up very high, so I can just toss my potatoes in there, and then I'm going to cook my onions. So that if I make a sauce or something for the pork chops, or if I have my potatoes going, potatoes only take like 20-30 minutes. And you know, it's pretty easy to make a homemade mashed potato. Then you get a melted butter, or you can just throw your butter in there. As you go with moving, I'm trying to make as many hearty meals as I can, because then once I move, I won't be cooking like that until like a week or so after, because you have to like move your stuff around and make sure that you're comfortable. Let's cook up these onions. I'm gonna cook all the onions. And now since I'm doing this, I'm like, oh wow, it's so interesting how people make potato soup. So I'm gonna do, just toss all my onions in here as I'm cooking my onions. Go back, check up on add the potato. Potatoes are easy. Cook these onions, because then I can add the fresh cooked onions to the potatoes instead of having like crunchy onion. No, I want to bite down on the onion and have the flavor. If I had minced garlic, I will also just throw that into the mashed potatoes, but I don't have that. So get the butter all over it and throw in some coconut oil if you want to, but the coconut oil, I leave mine in the refrigerator. So this is how it looks. I'm gonna leave it on the stove so that it can get a little hot. Hurry up, potatoes, so I can just dump you in there little by little. As soon as it starts a rolling boil, I'll just toss it in there. Turn that down a little. Start on these pork chops. I'll let that cook for like probably 5 minutes. As you can see, here's the pork chops that I do not cook with very often. That's how they look. I'm just gonna let like water kind of rinse them off on both sides. Yeah, I would recommend you guys go to Aldi. good price, or whatever store you like to go to. You can get the fat off of them. On this it says use or freeze by March 2nd. I'm going to get another little spatula, because this is the one I'll use for when I'm seasoning and frying. And then I'll use this one for the mashed potatoes. One's for raw meat, the other is for the rest of the food. So thank you. I'll show you the rest of the food in the short. Quick and easy, lightweight meal. I love for the onions to just cook down. A few more minutes and that'll be it. Onions. See how it's like less than what it was before? Translucent and full of flavor. See, I'm using different utensils. See if maybe I can just add my potatoes. Okay, add your potato and then it starts to really go. These onions are going too. Thank you. I'll show you the rest of the meal. I'm going to transfer these cooked onions back to this bowl. Season up my pork on a cutting board and fry it up, and then add my corn and bacon in here as well. I might cook that first.